Welcome back, and today what I want to do is I want to demonstrate the pacing of a game using FIFA 25 or FC25 is what they call it now. So without further ado, let me go and switch to the game. So I'm gonna pick my teams. I'm gonna play with France against, I think I'm playing against Spain. But I want you, for those of you that are kind of fairly new to the game, or really haven't had the opportunity to, I guess you could say, to kind of like watch a game or see at the flow of the game, I want you to pay attention to how the movement and the pacing of the game when it comes to passing and scoring. So I'm gonna try my best to commentate as I play. I'm not very good at talking and playing, but I'll do my best. So I'm gonna commentate my actions when I'm defending the ball and when I have the ball. So the scoring, I'm not trying to win, but what I want to do is I want you to observe. Okay, so I want you to observe the AI, the CPU. Watch how they defend the ball. So when the ball is being returned to the other side, watch how everyone moves with the ball. That's the biggest thing I want you to take out from this, right? Is I want you to see the movement. Everyone is moving with the ball, so the defenders, the playmakers, even the goalies. You can see that when the ball is being when one team is attacking, the other team defending, but they're not all bunched up, okay? Because we're going to cover positions and discipline, I guess you could say, for this year, or so again, I like cover this because I feel that especially if you're new and you're trying to get familiar with the sport in general, right? This is going to be helpful. Okay, so this is more geared towards 9v9. I coach a youth league, so 9v9, and I'll go over the positions afterwards and kind of like one of the formations that's used. I'm not going to go over that today, but just kind of watch from a overview perspective of what's going on, and I think that'd be very helpful. So I guess I gotta click on here, huh? I gotta click in here so I can get started. Okay, so again, I'm in the blue. I'm playing France, and I'm playing against Spain, and I'm commentating. So I think I get the ball first. I'm playing home. The home team gets the ball first.
Two inspirational teams, well capable of dazzling their fans, ready for a showdown that could take on highly from.
Okay, I guess I don't have the ball first. But you see how everyone's moving, right? You see how everyone's moving with the ball. And so what I'm trying to do here is defend the ball. I want to clear it, trying to clear the ball.
It's France, and they take on Spain.
Well, as is always the case, both teams will look.
And I just want to clear it to the midfielder if I can.
Dominate possession and probably the game. This is going to be key, I think, today.
To get open.
Here's the side France will go with.
Okay, so I have a clear shot here.
William Saliba starts with Dayo Upamecano in central defence, and the main threat in attack today should be Kylian Mbappe.
Gotta find an opening. I don't want to pass it up because it'd be offsides.
And a chance to pivot in here.
Didn't mean to do that.
Spain. Unai Simon plays in goal. Aymeric Laporte starts alongside Robin Lenormand in central defence. Pedri starts with Fabian in the centre of midfield. And the main striker today is Morata.
Was it offsides? I think that was offsides. Or something happened where they got the ball.
Fabian.
Intercepted. You gotta be more careful. And you see the ball still lying, so you gotta go after the ball. And You know, so I don't really play this much, but I know there's a way you can cut. I was trying to do a header. He ended up just passing for some reason. So I'm pushing forward. And they got defenders there. So I'm being marked, right? So you see how everyone's kind of marking their players. See, no one's bunched up. I'm sorry. So I get the pass. Let me see if I can get it over here from cross.
Cross could be useful. Still not clear.
I couldn't get a good shot here.
They can keep possession now. And the challenge halts them in their tracks. And France finding space on the flank. And play to the front post. Well, it might still work out for them.
I was trying to, go for the pass on the inside, but at that point the goalie's doing his job. So if you're a goalkeeper, you see how he went out and he went after the ball. So the ball's in the air and he took action. And so you know how they're passing the ball around when I'm playing defensively.
To keep the ball. Chance to cross.
I took too long. I wanted to pass it so they could knock it in, but I took too long in the pass.
And really pressing their opponents. They couldn't hang on to it again.
Okay, go down here. Oh no! I think I was gonna be offside anyway if he was scored.
Well, what a good save that was. France really should be in front now. That could prove to be a big moment in the game.
Well, now they've got to concentrate on keeping the door locked.
That's a bad pass. But if you're a forward, right, you're back there, you're the first line defense, so I don't know why I'm going back. I thought I had the ball.
A bit wasteful from France. Mbappe. Oh, this is looking promising. Mbappe!
That's pretty much so. Mbappe, I think he's the winger, right? He's the winger. So don't focus too much on the terminology for positions, right? Because in a bigger league, like if they're playing 11-11, they have like different names, so they have wingers instead of like midfield, left or right midfielders. But wingers are attackers, they can't score. So I took him up the middle. I didn't have one to, I could pass it to. That's on the left, right. So I just kind of went ahead and I took the opportunity and I just tried to put it in there. So I'm back on the defense. Watch how on the kickoff, everyone's moving. So they're playing out from the backfield. And I'm just trying to get possession of the ball. I could have had that right there. I could have scored. I could have tried to score it on my own, but I want like the better odds when it comes to getting that pass. And like that 2-on-1 is a lot better than 1-on-1.
Dembele.
So you see how the goalie ran out there? He ran out the box. That's what you got to do if you're playing the goalie.
The player's been really good, but they've missed so many chances, which must annoy the manager because his team should be out of sight by now.
Well, let's find out.
Let's go again.
Cross fired over. Half-hearted clearance.
And he's clearing it. That's what you should be doing, clearing it. See how like everyone's kind of pulling back now? All my players were forward. Defense were more towards the center. And that was a bad pass. I was trying to do I was trying to lob it. Like I said, every time I play this, like it's been every couple of months or whatever as I play. So I'm trying to lob it. I think I must hit the wrong button. So again, the whole purpose is not to win, but just to kind of
Saliba.
see what they're doing, right?
He stopped them in their tracks.
And the whistle's not blown, so there's no foul committed.
Morata.
So they're going to get up.
From here.
I want to clear it. Clear the ball. Oh, that was a bad pass.
Disappointing for France to give it away like that.
He's running kind of slow. The ball's still alive.
Foul there.
Is that foul?
Free
It's
kick
foul.
awarded.
On who? Is it on them or me? Okay, so foul on me. So they got the free kick from back there. You know, there's no need for me to form a wall or anything, which in this game it's all done automatically. Okay, that's out of bounds.
And a throw in coming up.
I'd rather get the out of bounds than have them come down the field.
Morata.
And see, I want to stay in front of them because it's a lot harder
Now a corner.
because they don't have a line of sight to take a direct shot at the goal. So now I got to defend this corner kick. And I want to get out the box.
Both hands on it. Good goalkeeping. And so there it is. The first half has come to an end.
Okay, so I'm not gonna continue playing, but what I do want to show you, what's it called? Performance, right? So the performance, the way it's weighted here is based on your position discipline, and I'm not gonna spend too much time here. So as you can see here, this is the summary, right? The summary, and right here, it's gonna go down from position, and then it's gonna show you where they're at overall position on the field, you know, during that half. So left wing, this is pretty much where they've been at throughout the whole half. Striker, they play forward, you know, they play high and forward. Okay, so he's so forward. So that's been pretty much accurate to what we saw in the game, right? So I had switched to Mbappe, and I had the breakaway, and I went in, and I took that shot at the goal and went in. So a striker, pretty much job is to score. But this is where in the formation, he's playing in the center, so he overall position, since center high, up high and center of the field, right? Right wing, up here. Okay, so you have the center attacking mid, it's in the center, and the attacking area. Okay, so so far they did a very good job at, you know, position discipline. Left center mid, same thing. The left center, right center mid, right center. They had, I think, at one point he was like way up here, but maybe that was because of a corner kick or something. But overall, they did a pretty good job at you know, overall position. Left back, you know, here on the left side. Left center back, more in the center left. Right center back, right center right, and right back on the right side. So you can see, right, that overall position, they're pretty much where they're supposed to be at in terms of what the area they're responsible for. So you're not going to see the right fullback. Let me go up here, where the left wing's supposed to be at, right? You're not going to see them up here because that's not their job, you know. So everyone has a job, everyone has a duty and responsibility. You need to have the discipline to be where you're at. Don't worry about the other side. The other side is covered. That's how gaps is created, is when once you leave your area responsibility, now there's a gap. There's a gap in defense there, or maybe an offense, and say if this right winger was down here, playing on the same side as the left wing, then there's a gap on the right side. There's no extra tool, an offensive tool to use to create certain plays and create, you know, an opportunity to score. So let's go. Okay, we're gonna leave this. All right, so we are looking at my tactical board here, and as you hear, you know, this is for 9v9 because there are 9 players in this league. So you have 3, 3, 2, passes up here. So I'll cover that in just a second. And just want to remind you that this is more aimed for those that are new to the sport, or if you've played soccer before but you never played in an organized league. Okay, so you're trying to get familiar with positioning and things like that. So if you're a seasoned player or whatnot, this might not be as informative, but hopefully this will help, especially if you're new to coaching or you're new to playing or what have you. Okay, so 9v9, and a lot of formation. When you start to see these numbers, it's pretty much telling you the lineup, right? How many players are lined up when going from the defense to the forward. So in this formation here, 3-3-2, I have 3 defenders, right? I have the fullbacks, I have 3 midfielders, then I have 2 forwards, also known as strikers, and then I have the goalie. Goalies aren't normally counted, so more on that later. So I'll try to keep this as short as possible, and as informative as possible without reading off the script. Okay, so all right, so positions. I'm going to start with the offense and then work my way to the defense, right? So I'm going to start with these guys up here. Okay, so from here we're looking at our strikers, right? Our striker. These are the players that are going to be scoring the goals. They're the ones that are going to be running into free space, or positioning themselves to receive the ball and to score. So their job, they're the ones everyone's counting for to get the job done, to score, put the ball into the net. So your job is to make sure you're taking well-placed kicks, and also you're not spending too much time trying to do any fancy tricks or whatnot. So you get the ball, put it in the goal. But also, you're also the first line of defense. So as soon as they have the ball up here, say it's a rebounded ball, rebounds off the goalie, and their player gets the ball, you're up here, and then you try to win the ball back and then put it back into the net. Okay. All right. So that's the forwards. Oh, actually, let me go back because I skipped something. So I have here, you must be able to read the goalie. So if you're playing this position, also you need to be able to read the goalie, because there's some times where they get in the ball and they like to distribute the ball short, or they're taking a goal kick and there's wind, or maybe they don't have that strong of a leg and it falls short. So by reading goalie, you're able to attack the ball. So if you see the ball going up and it's going to fall short, you need to be able to react and get ready, and ground the ball and do your thing. Because remember, your job is to score goals, but find an opportunity if the goalie's not doing good of a job on their end. Okay, so I think I added too much to that. Midfielders. So that's these players here. So we have in this formation 3 of them. We have your left mid, center mid, and your right mid. So starting with the center mid, they're pretty much the offensive captain, right? And what do I mean by that? I mean that they're the ones that are pretty much going to dictate the distribution of the ball, right? They're the ones going to decide where to pass the ball to. They want to get the ball to their goal makers, right? But they're all playmakers, and they can pass it here. But overall, their job is to make sure that the ball's getting around, right? The ball's getting around to where it needs to around defenders, right? Because they can have defenders and they're going to be able to, pass it in between them. Get the they won't pass it here in this scenario here, but they need to be able to distribute the ball so that the forwards can do their job and score goals, right? Let me see. I need to stick to the script. All right. Yeah, there's their Ben and pretty much also known as attacking midfielders, but more on that later. I don't want to dive too much into that because they can also attack and they can score too. But overall, they're all playmakers, so they can all take a shot to goal and whatnot. But I don't want to spend too much time there. Okay, so next is you have your left and the right midfielders. So they can assist in the playmaking, by also passing the ball around. They're feeding the ball to the strikers so they can score goals. So they're feeding the ball, but they're also taking and receiving crosses, and they're the next line of defense. So once ball here, they're responsible, for this area here. So they're doing a lot of this back and forth because they're also defenders, right? Defenders, but also playmakers. And what I meant by crosses, crosses, like the ball going across the field, so it's considered a cross, right? So if I see that you're wide open and I'm down here and I want to shoot it across the field, right? And they're gonna get open and then try to score, right? So yeah, crosses, right? So fullbacks. Okay, so fullback. Let's go and cover fullbacks. So I covered the forwards, I covered the midfielders. Now let's cover the fullbacks. These are the defenders, pretty much like defense. But they're not just stationary, okay? And what do I mean by they're not stationary? That means that they're moving. They're not just gonna stay here, right? So they're gonna, do some, movement too, wherever the ball's at on their end, on their side of the field. But let's start with the center back. Center back's probably one of the most important pieces. I wouldn't say like pieces or player on the field next to the midfielder, right? They're pretty much the captain of the defense, right? So they're also really good at ball handling. They're one of the strongest players on the team because they're the ones are going to mark and defend the opposing strikers, right? The opposing forwards. So they can try to come up here and defend and win the ball back, and then they're going to push forward, and where they're going to try to find and feed the midfielder, and then from there they're going to do their job, right? So let me remove that so it's not confusing. So yeah, so the center back prevents the forwards from scoring and by marking those players, right? And then you have the fullbacks. So you have your left and the right fullbacks. Pretty much they're doing the same thing. They're preventing scores and crosses from happening on this side of the field, right? But they also is if they defend the ball and they get possession of the ball, if they can feed and they can look and find the midfielder, great. Feed the midfielder so they can distribute the ball. They can do their thing, right? They can do their thing along with the other playmakers, or you can clear the ball. So If you can't find a midfielder, clear the ball, which means to kick it down here where our players can get to it. So I think, in a sense, that's pretty much it, right? So I just want to cover your responsibilities in a nutshell. I don't want to go too in depth with those. I left out goalkeeper because it's not that hard to explain. So your job as a goalkeeper is to prevent goals from happening, prevent the ball from going in, any means possible, right? You're sticking your leg out, you're punching it, you're two hands, you're swatting the ball, catching the ball, tipping it up, any way possible, right? You can do that. You're allowed to use your hands, you can use your elbows, chest, whatever, as long as you can prevent the ball from going into the net. And then taking the ball and then getting the ball up to the setback. If there's no people around, but usually what's going to happen is once you get the ball, goalies usually kind of move up and they punt down, right? So they're gonna pull back on the defense, and they're gonna or fall back. They're gonna fall back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if I missed out anything. If this helps, that's great. I think I've done my job. I'm sticking to the script here. So, and then I'll list down in the summary section. So in case you want to go back and notes, I'll also try to create chapters for positions. Again, this is not intended to be like a full depth on explanation, just kind of like the basics for each position, right? Lastly, what I want to go over is that just because you see this position here, you see these dots here, doesn't mean you're just staying here. You're not standing here being stationary, like you're not standing around one place the whole time. Okay, this is just a formation, right? In formation, you're meant to move from formation, right? You're meant to kind of move around. So just because you're number 2, you don't just stand here. So throughout the game, you can be doing this, right? They can be doing this. We have the balls. If we have possession of the ball and we're attacking, right? We're pushing up. Then you're pushing up. We're pushing up. And the ball's going back this way. They're gonna kick this way, and we're gonna fall back. And then you're gonna fall back around this area just in case they have someone kind of on this side, right? But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on that. But you're not stationary. You want to move around. It's all about constant running, right? You're not being still. You gotta be prepared. You gotta be aware of where the ball's being at. Reading the goalie, marking players. If you're one of the defenders, you gotta mark the forwards. Be ready. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You have any comments or anything, suggestions how I can make a better video covering this, leave it in the comments. Again, this is mostly aimed for new players or players not familiar with league play. This is 9v9. A lot of youth league played 9v9 until a certain age, so I believe this is 12, 10, 8 8U in the league that we play in that uses the 9v9. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Thank you for checking this video out, and I'll catch you later.